Howdy meeps, Rigaroga here. How's it going? Hi, good morning. Well, it's morning to me. I don't know what it is to you. Uh, G'day. Um, so I actually played this yesterday. It's unusual for me to do another episode so soon, so I don't know how, I don't know how prepared I am, but we're gonna try. I am continuing the adventure with Tufirlo, my Voda sorcerer castaway in the Seas of Vodari. And as a reminder, this is basically I'm using the quick start rules from Seas of Vodari. I was a supporter in crowdfunding, and it's in pre-order stage still. They're working on it. Hasn't released yet, so there's lots of stuff about the setting that I don't know, and that I will probably regret not waiting for. But I'm playing this character, uh, playing with some sidekicks. I've never done sidekicks before. So we've got Tufirlo and her. Excuse me, she's non-binary. They are non-binary. uh, they have sidekicks, plant and octopus, and we'll see how that works out. Anyhow, so I wanted to sort of set that up. Now, of course, the way we left this off yesterday was that Tufi. Oh, before I do anything else, let me just say I realized yesterday after the stream that I had forgotten about Jotun resilience, which is part of the giant soul. And it's plus 1 HP per level to the max. So they actually have. I should give up on the non-binary thing. I can't keep it straight in my head, but it's good to get used to. They have 9 HP max, not 8, which I said yesterday. And that means I have to change it on here as well. 9 HP. Okay. So where we left off was that Tufi, Octopus, and Plant had been investigating a chest after a storm, a huge storm, where Tufi saw the storm giant that had rescued her and put her on this island, and had been sending extra flotsam and jetsam as gifts and controlling the weather a bit. And it's kind of like she's being pushed out of the nest a little bit. They are being pushed out of the nest a little bit. As oh god, apple mail, just die an awful death. I've been using this for like over 20 years now, and all of a sudden it starts popping up, demanding focus anytime it checks for mail. Anyhow, neither here nor there. So Tufi and Octopus and Plant are on this island. They're investigating that chest, and they found a journal written by Fayette, the navigator for Captain Blackheart, and a map. And I think Tufi, I think I expressed that Tufi was a little bit sort of rejecting the call to adventure at the beginning. I mean, this is perfect. This is a wonderful place, but it turns out that part of why it was so perfect and wonderful was because the storm giant was sending gifts all the time. And so, the flotsam and jetsam, the usefulness of it has, sort of petered out. The weather isn't as great as it was. It's not quite as hospitable as it used to be. Maybe someday Tufi will be able to control the weather and make this back into their personal paradise. But that day is not today. So I think in the interim, Tufi is examining the journal a little bit more, and there are some things that as Tufi's reviewing the map, and I don't know how she learned to read. Actually, they learned to read. That is something that I'm going to have to figure out. Maybe they were old enough to have learned how to read, and books, and yeah. So, um, they were old enough to read, but they don't remember their life before the initial storm that got them to this island. And they've never felt the need to leave because it was so perfect and so wonderful. It was like ideal for them. No reason to leave at all. No desire to until now. And I think in the Flotsam and Jetsam books and learning and things like that had been sent up, and Tufi has on shelves in their shanty on land, a rack of books of whatever kind of books were available. So they have a really eclectic sense of things, not really necessarily knowing fiction from nonfiction, but having done enough reading and sort of gotten used to it and kept going. So that's how they know how to read. So Tufi knows how to read. But I think reviewing the map, the things that, as Tufi's sort of considering whether to leave this environment or not, to accept the call to action, they're studying the map and studying the journal. The map clearly shows the location of a specific island, the island that's mentioned in the journal, which is not found. Well, we don't know. Well, okay. So Tufi has some maps of the world from some sort of, maybe some other navigational journals have been washed ashore, and when Tufi compares them, it's clearly that this island has not been mapped, which is ironic because, of course, Tufi's castaway on an island that's not mapped either, but they're in different parts of the ocean. I think, okay, so we're gonna do an investigation check, and I think Plant as our expert. Well, maybe not expert. Huh. Maybe. No. I'm trying to decide here whether Plant is a spellcaster or an expert. If Plant is a spellcaster, I think Plant is a healer. But I was sort of thinking that. No, I think Octopus is the expert. I don't think we have a warrior sidekick right now. I think we have an expert. I think the Octopus is expert, and the reason why is because the Octopus can squeeze in things and, squeeze in locks and camouflage and stuff like that, and do stealth. And so I think we're gonna go with that. And let's just take a look. Help action. To completing a task, creature you gain aids advantage on the next ability check. Yeah. So I think expert. So we've got spellcaster with investigation +4, and then we've got expert. So I think we can do this with advantage. So we're gonna do this investigation check with advantage, and I'm just gonna have I'm gonna have Tufi roll with help. That's a 4 and a 1, so that is definitely not successful. So Tufi does not notice something about this map that would have been useful to somebody who was a navigator. So Tufi continues to review the journal, but I think she gets a general. They get a general idea from the map of where things are in relation, but just doesn't know exactly where this island is. By rereading the journal, reading it and rereading it, and all of that, I think that Tufi gets the following ideas about that. The specifically reading like the details about the temple is that the path to the temple is guarded by skeletons, and they've been ordered by Captain Blackheart to look for anyone who's trying to steal the treasure and kill them. The trail begins on the beach of that island and can be found on the east shore of the island. And on the beach, there's a stream where you can find the start of the path. And from the beach, you follow the path along the stream into the interior of the island for about half a day. And that path ends as the stream bends to the north and a massive rocky outcrop rises out of the jungle. And the entrance to the temple is carved out of stone to resemble a skull. So Tufi definitely has all of these ideas about what this location is once they find it. So I think Tufi finally sort of accepts, like, okay, food is getting a little more scarce. I mean, it's getting a little less friendly. Tufi could totally survive on this island without the help of the storm giant and the extra stuff coming in, but this seems to be like a thing. This is an adventure, and Tufi kind of feels like throwing caution to the wind is the only way to get good stuff. Sometimes you gotta take the leap into the water, dive into the deep end, push yourself to go a little bit deeper in order to get bigger fish, that sort of stuff. Things that they've learned in the wild, surviving on this island, is that you got to take risks. You still have to think ahead and plan and not do stupid things, but still you've got to push yourself. So I think that means Tufi is going to accept this this call to adventure, and so she'll pack up. God dang it, they will pack up. Tufi will pack up stuff. What I've been imagining is that Tufi would have like maybe one sort of glass vessel, like an amphora or something like that, to make into like a terrarium for plant, and stop it up with some cork or sap from a tree and things like that. And then a barrel, maybe, or some floaty chest kind of thing. A barrel with the top pulled off, tree sap lining it to make it watertight, and put all her stuff, all of Tufi's stuff inside the barrel, and then seal it up, and then kind of tie ropes. And I'm kind of imagining like water wings in a way. Like Tufi will have a rope, so they can swim. but then we'll be dragging behind the two floaty things. So Tufi won't go necessarily too deep when they're swimming, but I mean, Tufi could always leave the barrel, the floaty bits behind and go diving for food and whatnot. So I think that's what's happening. We're gonna pack up all of our good stuff. Octopus can swim along just as fast as Tufi can, but Plant can't swim. So Plant will be in the and maybe some herbs and stuff. There'll be a little bit of dirt. I mean, it'll be a nice little maybe give Plant a little insect to keep Plant company. But we're making sort of this adventuring gear. So I think that's the point at which Tufi and friends head out on the great big blue ocean. Let me really quickly go to this map. I'm sort of imagining that we start way off, like uncharted lands somewhere. Oops, that wasn't right. I hit the wrong thing. Let's see. We're gonna do this, and we're going to. So somewhere like here, and then I'm imagining, we kind of maybe know a little bit about things. And so we're going to keep swimming. And what we're trying to get to, let me remember. Oh, yeah, we're trying to get here. The town that was mentioned by Fayette is over here. It's on Zavos. And so I think that's the pathway that we're going to take as we go from wherever it is that we ended up as a castaway. Maybe it's farther out to the west than that. So maybe it's actually whoa, that is not what I meant to do. Whee! Maybe it's a little bit more right here, I think. Yeah. So let's go ahead and actually yeah, anyhow, so okay. We're gonna go that. There. Okay. There we go. So that's our path. And we end up I think passing by a few islands and things, and I think that Tufi, having sort of gotten this training with Octopus to do to disguise, I think would swim up maybe like on this one island over here, one of the two big islands with the towns. Tufi would have stopped to sort of kind of get a feeling for what's going on in these towns and what's going on with civilization. This is all new to Tufi, so I think Tufi would really just watch with fascination, having read things about how the world is, and then seeing them are like totally different. It's kind of like, having read it and formed a sort of this idea in Tufi's head. Tufi has this notion of how things are, and then there are things that Tufi sees happening, and it's almost like physical. Tufi can almost feel like a snap as the conception of how things are done and how they're actually done reorients towards each other and comes together and meets. And it's like sort of an endorphin rush every time Tufi discovers, oh, that's what that meant. in my head that was completely upside down from that. I wow, headcanon. Constantly like how people fish, how people make rope, how they sail. So I think Tufi spends some time on this journey, sort of learning about the world and learning how to disguise and body shape as picking a couple individuals and then learning how to disguise and shape change into them. Um, and I think by the time Tufi gets to the second island, Tufi will try to um, Tufi will try to test out this ability. So we're gonna actually go for um, the shape shifting with a DC of 11. So let's have Tufi try this out. Tufi is gonna try to be disguised as someone that Tufi's seen along the journey on a different island and walk through town and just sort of investigate and look around like a tourist might without being too obvious as this person. And we're going to see if someone in town discovers or like realizes that Tufi is not this creature that Tufi's disguised as. So wow, okay. So that is exactly enough to be suspicious. I'm gonna just roll. So I think that's enough to be suspicious. I'll have to reread, but we're gonna use now we're gonna use a direct roll. So that was somebody trying to realize that something wasn't right, or just realizing that something wasn't right, and we're gonna use our deception um, to try and convince this person, to shore up. Maybe we were being a little bit too touristy, and it, sort of comes back to it and, spits some chaw on the ground and. Okay, that is totally not enough to fool that even with a +5. Tufi is less than convincing, and I think the person realizes, hey, why are you disguising yourself as something? And Tufi sort of gets called out in this town and is going to make a run for it. And I don't think the townspeople are going to follow. But so this was not a successful test. So I think that Tufi's going to be a little bit more careful over time and realize that that they're not quite as good at disguising as they need to be. They need to be better at deception, which is charisma. So we really need, like, when we get to level 4 and get an ASI, adding additional charisma might be a really good idea for spells and for deception. Yeah, that hurts. So I think next time Tufi will also try maybe persuading, um, but we'll see. So I think that we're gonna go ahead and just sort of take that as kind of a montage. I think okay, actually, that happened on the first island, and I think what happens is that we get to the second island and we try it again because this is a long way to travel, and we're really tired of swimming. Um, no, I think we keep trying at the first island. It's at the first island. We keep trying. We know we can. We see boats leaving, and so we try it one time. Let's try it another time. We're trying to hire a boat so we don't have to swim the whole way. So let's go ahead and try again. We'll see if Tufi gets noticed. Tufi absolutely does not get noticed. So that time was successful. So I think that at this island, Tufi then sort of tries to hire a boat. And I think what happens is she sort of has is they're having a conversation, uh, having observed how things work and seeing that people are, hiring passage on boats and how it's done. Tufi models that behavior and has a conversation with someone on one of the boats. And is trying. I need to get to Zavros. Um, and Port Zavo on the island of Zavros, and I think Tufi is trying to book passage. Maybe the first ship doesn't, but that then you need to wait for the Sea Hag coming in tomorrow, and they're scheduled to head directly to Zavros, um, and then so Tufi hangs out, maybe tries for the first time to go into the little local tavern and actually gets it like a beer because that's what other people are ordering, and I think starts to have a conversation, just sort of still not trusting people, but I mean this is the first time she's had that Tufi's had a chance to interact with people. So Tufi's trying out like what does it mean to socially interact with people? How does one have a conversation? Watching how other people do it, like with the bro nod, the nonverbal communication, and raising a glass, a cup, and also getting tipsy because Tufi has never had alcohol before that I know of. Maybe some rum got washed on shore and Tufi like tried it out and it was like, what is this crap? And realized that it could be used for medicinal purposes, but only ever did it for that purpose. Like disinfecting things and maybe dulling pain a little bit, um, but I think but Tufi ends up having a conversation with somebody in this town, um, and because Tufi's a little bit tipsy, this particular person sort of recognizes that this is an outsider, somebody who hasn't been around, and their job is to sort of ask questions and find things out. And I think that they sidle up to Tufi and convince Tufi. Maybe that initial deception role was part of that. Tufi kind of spills the beans a little bit about having not been in civilization much, and is coming to track down an island, and I think at some point in that conversation, like Tufi starts to sort of and track down an island, and I have the journal, and then is like, wait, I shouldn't be talking about that, and clams up, and I think that at that point Tufi is like, yeah, I don't really. let's talk about something else. Why don't you tell me about yourself? But that's enough, I think, for this person to have gotten some information, and the next day, as Tufi's trying to book passage, this person, maybe we do a scene change to the next day where we see Tufi booking passage, and then we see this person that Tufi was talking to, sort of tying a message to a pigeon, and releasing the pigeon. And so I think that happens along the way, and then we continue the rest of the way, having booked passage on a ship, and we get to Port Zavos. Um, I mean, we could swim, but I think we're gonna go here. I think we try to find. We start asking maybe in the tavern, like we've gotten used to that. So let's head to the tavern. We're gonna go to the Lucky Mermaid Tavern. I don't really have a map for this town, um, but so we're gonna go to the tavern, um, and ask some questions, um, and we're gonna meet some people there, and we have Fayette's name, and we're saying, I think we ask about where is Fayette's shop? Trying to find out about Fayette's life, and we have not seen Fayette in many years. Or Fayette's been gone for a month, and closed up shop. Had some things to do. Um, Boy, that's a big plot hole. If as I'm thinking that this island is like way in the southeast, why was Fayette's journal? It's just the storm giant. The storm giant knew. Got it from a friend who got it from a friend who got it from a friend who, I think. Uh, yeah, it's the storm giant. The storm giant uh, got this chest, uh, on the conveyor belt of giant booty, and selected it as the thing to get Tufi to leave the island. Yeah, so that's how that happened. Okay, so that fills that plot hole a little bit. Um, um, so I think we learn a little bit about Fayette. He he was old and frail, and he was retiring. I no, you know what? I don't know. Somehow I think maybe he passed away. Um, anyhow, they don't know. The actual the tavern people, they don't know. Like one person says, "Oh no, he died. He died a month ago." And then, no, 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 he left. He boarded everything up and left. And I think so. I think Tufi asks, like, so where was his shop? And they describe it in town. And I think Tufi will, go and look in the windows, and sort of explore, looking around, looking around Fayette's place. And it's definitely closed up. I mean, there's nothing of note inside. Would Tufi try and break in? I think she'd look around. I think Tufi would look around and sort of maybe try and go in the back end. Um, just to have a look around. Let's try a sleight of hand, dexterity to see if we can. No, it's gonna be an investigation. Let's do an investigation. Um, oh yeah, Tufi does not have investigation to speak of. Um, so maybe Plant is on Tufi's shoulder and is gonna help. So let's go ahead and give her advantage. Give Tufi advantage. A 12 and a 13. Better than human. For investigation, and I think maybe Tufi looks up and sees one of the upper windows is open to vent, hot air out the attic or whatever, and tries to climb up that and inside. Does Tufi find anything? Does Tufi find anything? 43. No, I don't. Tufi doesn't find anything. I mean, there's things and spoons and the accoutrements one has when one is living in a place are here, but it hasn't been used for a while. I mean, there's no corpse, so Fayette didn't die in here, or doesn't appear to have died in here. It's just dark and dusty. And hasn't been used for, I mean, basically the month that the tavern people were saying. So I think Tufi goes back to the tavern and asks about hiring a boat, and for the rest of the journey. I wonder. I mean, I think Tufi definitely has some cash. I feel pretty comfortable saying that Tufi has enough cash on in both like collected from the seashore, but also in that chest there were a few coins to hire passage. Um, Tufi's directed to Captain Meg's. Um, And so I think at some point Captain Megs um, is going in that direction. Um, but I think that basically we in our negotiations we're trying to figure out, okay, how much is this going to cost? Well, where do you need to go? Well, um, oh man. I mean Tufi has to trust this captain. I mean, the map doesn't mark the treasure; it just marks the island. So I think we have to share the map. Um, and let's see Captain Mags. I think I've got an NPC for Mags. Mags has got let's give Mags insight. So Mags rolled a 17. That's plenty of insight. I think Mags discovers the latitude and longitude that are written on the map. Mags investigates this map and then turns it over in order to, just sort of as the she's looking at it and notices the scribble and sees, oh well, I mean, this is the latitude and longitude. This is exactly the exact location. Okay, so this is where you're going. I think Mags starts to realize that this is something big. Um, I am gonna have Tufi roll insight. Tufi's alone, having left octopus and plant with the stuff hidden somewhere. So we're gonna do insight, and we're +2 for insight. So let's try it. Oh, that is a natural 20. So that's 22. That is a heroic level of insight. I think Tufi realizes um, that this captain cannot be fully trusted. I think, this is clearly the person that is available to hire, but we need to watch our back. Um, so I think that Tufi then takes the map back, rolls it up, and puts it back, and just said, uh, continues to negotiate, but is watching and watching. So I think we're gonna keep in mind that Tufi sort of has this insight about Captain Megs when it comes when if it becomes when and if it becomes relevant later. Um, so we're gonna keep negotiating. Let's see, persuasion +4 and a persuasion +5. So let's do an opposed roll. Mags will be red. Tufi will be blue. And this is a persuasion, and we're negotiating. Um, okay, no, we completely failed. That was a 2, and Mags got a 13. So I think we tried to negotiate price, but Mags was no. This is how much it'll cost to get there. So I think we just sort of agree to pay. We'll pay when we board the ship. Mags agrees and gives a time, which is like we're gonna leave at high tide tomorrow. We can head out high tide tomorrow if you want. And I think that Tufi agrees that let's get going, um, and goes and gets ready as far as like letting octopus and plant know. Um, so I think what's going to happen is, yeah, we've got this sort of terrarium with plant, and then this sort of watertight barrel with stuff in it. And I think what's going to happen is that Tufi is going to take um, I might as well give up. Tufi's going to take their stuff out of the barrel and put seawater in it for octopus. Um, and so these are going to be the two things that Tufi has to take, and then maybe like a rucksack or something over their shoulders, and they're ready to go. Uh, and so I think Tufi and octopus and plant prepare overnight. Um, and I think that Tufi shares their concern about Captain Megs. I don't think we can trust this captain, but this is the only boat that was available to go in this direction, that I could hire. I mean, I could swim it myself, but it would take forever. I mean, literally, probably like months. we're talking about the difference between a ship and swimming. Um, so I think Tufi's going to risk it. She's going to throw caution to the wind, even though she's going to keep an eye on Mags and the crew, and be sure to lock the door to their cabin at night. Uh, but yeah, so I think preparations are underway. I think Tufi then comes into town and sort of gets prepared to get to the ship. Maybe looking around town one last time for replenishing supplies, doing any shopping, maybe looking for ammo for the pistol, maybe even trading up to one that doesn't have barnacles on it. Um, I think, yeah, a new shiny light pistol. I think we might trade in for our haggard one. Um, and I think that Tufi does that shopping and then heads. Maybe he's like hired a little wheelbarrow or something like that, uh, and has wheeled those down to the ship to get loaded. Um, so those are on her. No, no, no. She doesn't trust them. She doesn't trust them. So she'll have the wheelbarrow with her. Um, Yeah, she's got to have it. Tufi's got to have the wheelbarrow with her, with the terrarium and the barrel. And so what's going to happen is that as Tufi's been shopping, she's been wheeling the barrel around, um, and I think finally Tufi's done sort of being touristy and heads towards. It's getting close to high tide. Heads down to the docks. Um, and so we're going to end up in the dock ward. I mean, it's obviously it's a tough area town, but there's only a couple hours before the ship is going to leave. And or I mean, it's time to get to the ship. Um, and once Tufi decides to head to the ship, a gang of four rough-looking sailors and their leader, a female, were in a dark alley. Um, and just sort of come and well, let's give Tufi a perception check, without help because the plant is in the terrarium. And no, it's going to be with help. I mean the terrarium is glass, so I think plant is like helping out. So let's do perception. That's not enough. So they do not see. I think what just happens is that these five, four sailors and a female half elf come out of a dark alley, and are and elf. So here's the elf. I think and they come out and they do that nasty old thing where they block the way and cut off Tufi from getting to the ship. Um, and I think the half elf females sort of comes out. As we're heading towards the dockyards and the ship, the group of rough looking sailor cuts you off, cuts us off from the path, and I think we've seen them around. I think some of them may have been in the tavern. We've been shopping. So we suddenly, I think, realized that we've been tailed this whole time. Um, Interesting. The flavor text says a female human with an eye patch, but in the DMs area it says female half elf thug. So, so this Voss is a this half elf female, has a patch over left eye and dark curly hair. Smiles and sort of walks up to Tufi and demands, "So, where's that map? Don't play the fools. Taggart knows where you are going for the treasure. Uh, you made a mistake in talking about the map and showing it. So we know you've got it. Where is it?" Um, so I think... Yeah, so let's try and use deception and persuasion. I don't think we're disguised. Or are we? I think when we went and bought the pistol, we were... Yeah, okay. So this is what's going to happen. Is that we were actually disguised as someone else, someone older, like an older male pirate, or sailor that we saw when we went and bought that pistol. And so we don't look like ourselves. And so they were following the person. Like, originally it was us pushing this wheelbarrow, and I think they've been watching from a distance, and they've been watching. But since we bought the pistol, we look like somebody else. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for the shape shifting. We're gonna have Pearl Voss. She's got +2 to intimidation, but nothing special, and a passive perception of 10. So let's go ahead, and she's got totally normal human perception. Let's give her a roll against this shape-shifting DC. And she rolled 11, and that is actually not enough to realize that my current shape is fake. So she's like, I think she comes out and she goes, "Okay, I don't know who you are, but we were following that little Voda, and we want the map that the Voda has. Where is it?" I think Pearl thinks she's talking to somebody else. So now I'm going to roll a deception, and I'm going to try to convince Pearl. Well, I don't know anything about a map. I was just hired to take this wheelbarrow. I was hired by that Voda to wheel this stuff down to the ship. I've got no beef with you. I've got nothing. I have no idea. So let's... Oh man. So that's the deception. Is a total fail. Well, let's give... is this an opposed roll? I mean, let's do an opposed roll. This will be Pearl's insight. Yeah, Pearl totally has enough insight to see that this story isn't true. So I think they're gonna try to move towards the wheelbarrow, like they're going to look in the barrel, and I think one of them tries to go towards this, to the rucksack that I have on my back. I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try a persuasion. Let's do an opposed persuasion versus Pearl's. Well, let's give her the intimidation. So Pearl is trying to intimidate, and I'm trying to persuade. Let's see how we do. Okay, no, the intimidation totally outweighs that. So I think, okay, we're going to have to roll initiative. So these are bandits. And so we've got Pearl, and we've got bandits and Tufi. Okay, so let's roll. We've got 3. We're rolling initiative. So I got a 6. Bandits are 10. 10, 6, and 8. Oh no. Oh man, this is awful. Okay, I've got to roll. I don't have these guys worked out, but I've got to roll for octopus and plant now. Okay, so octopus and plant. Come on, no whammies. Big numbers, no whammies. Big numbers, no whammies. Okay, so these are my sidekicks. 16 and 17. Okay, well that's awesome. So we actually have octopus and plant going before the bandits. So that is probably going to save my keister. So this is going to be wacky. Because I picked completely weird sidekicks. I don't know how this will. Let's see, guidance and sacred flame. Let me really quickly look up these two. Sacred flame, cantrip, flame-like radiance. Target must succeed or take 1d8 radiant damage. Target gains no benefit from cover. Or guidance. Let's see, that's an action. Is guidance a bonus action? No, it's an action. Touch one willing creature one before the spell ends. Once before it can roll a d4 and add that number to the ability choice. And then the spell ends. I think we've got to do... I think we've got to do Sacred Flame. Instantaneous. They're going to make a dex saving throw. Okay, so let's see. We're going to hit Tagger. Well, actually, so Plant is going to hit one of the bandits with Sacred Flame. Let me get this set up as well. So we've got 4 bandits. And then we've got Pearl. And so we've got AC 12, 11 HP. And then Pearl has 11 AC and 32 HP. So I think that we're definitely going to go for Pearl. And we're going to have Pearl roll a Dex save. Okay, has no pluses on that. So we're going to roll against a DC 12, I think is right. So that's going to be unsuccessful. So I should have rolled damage at the same time. 1d8 radiant damage. So Pearl takes 7 radiant damage from Plant, which I think is completely surprised. Like Plant pops out, and Plant's marigold face like gets like incredibly bright, and leaves wiggle in sort of jazz hands, and boosh, radiant damage smacks Pearl in the face for 7 damage. And I think that is gonna be pretty shocking to Pearl. So that was the action. So I think that is gonna be enough. Let's see, Octopus. Okay, I'm gonna have to do. Okay, this is Plant. I think Plant goes after the one that's going towards the rucksack, because Plant knows that that's where the map is. So Plant is manipulating things is not is an action. So I don't so they can't do that. I was gonna have Plant like maybe try and run away with the treasure map, but I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, so then Octopus is going to give a try. Let's see. I think. I mean, I think I'm going to spend like sort of a theoretical story point and say that that Octopus sort of has maybe a collection of shells, like sharpened shells and things like that. As daggers, and maybe like a narwhal. I don't know, something like a piece of coral as a short sword, right? Does that even make any sense? Yeah, so so Octopus is gonna like pop out of the top of the barrel, and is gonna throw a shell dagger at Pearl. Okay. Oh my god. So it's +4 to hit. No, 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 no. It's yeah, so +4 to hit. And then it's gonna be 4 hit points damage. Oh wait, no, it's 1d4 plus 2. So let's do 1d4 plus 2. Okay, that's an 18 plus 4. That is heroic. That is heroic level. So I mean, that's above 20. So I mean, octopus like bursts open the top of the barrel, and has a sharpened coral in one tentacle, and shards of shell in a couple others, and just flings one right at Voss. Um, and so I think Pearl's going to take 4 plus 2, 6 total damage, as a critical hit. So that's going to be 13 total. So I think wait, Pearl wasn't next? It was the bandits. How did that happen? Yeah. Sorry, I got that out of order somehow. So the bandits were next. And I think. Okay, so one is going to try to go. So one is going to try and get plant. Okay, I've got to have this in. I can't keep those stacked like that. So we're gonna use this. So it's no, we'll use red. So it's the bandits. Bandits are up. So they're gonna try to attack octopus. And I mean plant. And plant has AC 12. So they're gonna try and hit. AC 12 plus 3. Oh man, darn it! So that's a dirty 20. So they definitely hit. And does 4 damage to plant. So plant has. Oh my god, plant only has 9 HP. So plant has 5 HP. And octopus has 11. Okay, so plant is down to 5. That is not great. This one is gonna attack Tufi. Okay, that's a miss. Thank God. This one is gonna attack Tufi. Well, no, I think that one's gonna attack octopus. So octopus is gonna. No, that one's Tufi. That one's attacking Tufi. So that's a miss. And this one is going to attack octopus. That is a natural 20. Damn it. So that is 8. Oy vey. Okay, and so that was all. So octopus just got completely slammed by slashing damage. Man, that hurt. And so that's all the bandits. And now it's Pearl's turn. I think Pearl is on a mission. I think she's not going to attack. I think she's going to try and move. I think she's going to move around and try and get that, get the backpack. She's still within threat range of Octopus, so no opportunity attack. So I think she's going to try to grapple. I haven't done grappling before, so let's figure this out. She's going to try to grapple Tufi. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle with it, you can use the attack action to make a special melee attack a grapple. If you're going to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. Strength Athletics, contested by Strength Athletics or Dexterity. Okay, so so Pearl gets a multi-attack. So she's actually going to swing her mace and try and hit Tufi with the mace. And that's going to miss. And then for the second attack, she's going to try to grapple. And so we're going to Strength Athletics. So Pearl is +2. Acrobatics or athletics? How am I proficient in that? Oh, right, because I got -1. So we're going to actually use acrobatics, which is a +3 for Tufi. So it's... Oh, God. 19 + 2 is 21, and 15 + 3 is not enough. So we are grappled. And the condition grappled, movement speed is 0. It actually, this is actually pretty convenient. Hey, Taos, how you doing? Oh, thanks. That's really awesome. Thanks. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in and checking out. And I am grappled, but it's actually funny because it actually says Thunderwave right there, and I actually have Thunderwave, and so so Tufi is gonna do Thunderwave in this direction and try and get all 4 of these people. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and let's try this out. Let me just remind myself about Thunderwave really quick. Now, Thunderwave is one of the spells that I got from the Giant Soul source. Okay, so it is a 15-foot cube originating from me, and Constitution saves or take 2d8 and is pushed 10 feet away. Okay, so we're going to do Constitution saves for those 4. And then it's 2d8 damage. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so that's pretty good damage. And they need to do... What's my spell DC is 13. Bandits con +1. So fail, succeed, fail, and succeed. So these two are going to get pushed back 10 feet. And these two are going to take enough damage to wipe them out. And then these two are going to take half damage? Half damage. So half damage is going to be 7. So they take 7, and that's going to put Pearl at 20. Yeah, that worked pretty well. So I just flattened these two. They got pushed away and like flew into some stuff and got speared by, I don't know what, fishing rods or whatever. And I think that's it. That's all I can do. Now we're back up to plant. And I think plant is going to... Let's take a really quick look again. I think we're going to have to do Cure Wounds on Octopus. And I think that's 2d4, yeah? No, it's 1d8 plus the spellcasting modifier. I assume is wisdom? Yeah, wisdom. So +2. So 1d8 plus 2. Let's roll that. 1d8 plus 2 is 4, so that's 6. Octopus is up to 9 again. And Octopus is going to... is gonna attack Voss. And this one's gonna be short sword. I really need to have character sheets for these guys. So let's see. Short sword +4 to hit, 1d6 plus 2. So we're gonna do +4 and then 1d6 plus 2. So that was a critical fail, so it doesn't matter. And now the bandits go. I think this bandit is going to attack Plant and try and get Plant with Scimitar +3 to hit. That is a 19. That's plenty. That's for 4. Plant is now down to 1 hit point. And then the other bandit, I think, is going to come and try and non-lethal... No. I'm grappled by Voss. So this bandit is going to move over here and attack Octopus. And is going to try to hit... +3, and that is definitely enough. So octopus is now down to 5. No, wait. Yeah, 5. And now Pearl goes. And I think Pearl is going to try to knock me out. Melee damage. To do non-lethal, but has 2 melee attacks. No, wait. No, wait. No, wait. No, wait. Because she's grappling me, she's got to maintain the grapple. So let's do this again. Sorry, I so not used to this stuff. Where is it? Grappling. Okay. Using at least one free hand. Try to seize the target. Moving a grapple. When you move, you drag. Escaping grapple. Yeah, so she's gonna keep that. The grapple replaces one. Hey, on cake. Athletics. Yeah, yeah. The what I was just trying to figure out. Pearl Voss has multi attack, so she's gonna use one of the multi attacks to maintain the grapple, but then still is gonna try to. So has me grappled, and then is gonna try and bonk me on the head for non lethal to knock me out. So I was just trying to figure out how that worked. Like, yeah. Let's go ahead and roll to see. That is a natural 1, so that is a fail. Lucky for me. Trying to knock me out. And so now it goes to me again, and I have 2 spell slots. Am I going to try to Thunderwave those 2? Or Magic Missile them? I could Magic Missile, but that's only 3 darts. Well, really? Oh, then she gets another attack. No. Okay, Onkeg. So we're gonna go ahead and because it actually says. I mean, I get that, but what it says is that for somebody that has a multi attack, you have to actually using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. So on subsequent turns, it's not really considered an additional attack. It's just the condition is maintained. Bonk, bonk. Yeah, okay. So she gets one more. We'll give her one more mace attempt to hit me with the mace. Trying to knock me out. That is a natural 20. Oh shit. Oh shit, this is not how I thought this was gonna go. Yeah, I haven't gotten to me yet though. I haven't gotten to me. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Wow. Okay. So that takes me to 0. So I am knocked unconscious. And I'm unconscious and grappled. Let's just go ahead and I'll put me sideways to show that I'm grappled. I mean, that I'm unconscious. Oh man, and that's Pearl's turn. So we get to me, and that means I need to make a death save. No, no, it was non-lethal. She just knocked me unconscious, so I'm unconscious. Um, so no death saves, but I am unconscious. Um, Now we're back up to Plant. So Plant has one more. How many spell slots? Oh man. Okay, well, Plant is gonna cast Cure Wounds on me. Oh my gosh. 1d8 plus 2. 1d8 plus 2. Big numbers, no whammies. Oh my god, it was a 2. So now I have got 4. Um and I should be back up. And that ends Plant's turn. Um I think Octopus is going to turn around and try to grapple Pearl. Or just stab. I can't decide. I'm trying to decide if we're gonna try to grapple, but that doesn't do damage. So I think we're gonna use that piece of coral as a short sword. Um, and Octopus is gonna try and hit Pearl. So +4 to hit. Let's try it. That's 16 plus 4. That's a dirty 20. So that's a success. So Pearl is going to take another 5 points of damage. Okay, and now bandits. There's only 2 bandits left. One of them is going to attack Plant. +3 to hit. That is a success. Plant is down to 0. And number 3 is going to attack Octopus. Oh, God, that's an 18, so that is a success. That takes Octopus down to 1. Oh, man. This is not how I thought this was going to go. Okay, that's the bandits. Now we're back to Voss. Voss is going to try to knock me unconscious again. Gonna roll 2 melee attacks. Oh my gosh. Oh no. No. She got one. Nope, she got one. She got one, and that puts me to 0 again. Oh man. Oh no. Wow, this is not how I thought was going to happen. Yeah, I should probably roll, shouldn't I? I was just trying to make it easier for myself. Well, what would it have been if let's see. So that was a bandit captain. No, it's not a bandit captain. That it's a thug. So it's 1d6 plus 2. Let's just imagine. So 1d6 plus 2. I mean, it would have been more. So it would have been 7. I still would have gone down. Um, yeah. Um, I roll for my damage, like when I'm doing damage, but for NPCs and whatnot, I use average. So it kind of evens out. I mean, I have a chance of doing less damage, but have a chance of doing like a ton of damage. So yeah, that's kind of how I've been playing it. Average for NPCs, and then I actually roll when it's me. Um, okay, so I am unconscious again. Octopus is the only one up. So that skips to me, and I'm unconscious. No death saves. Plant is unconscious. I suppose we should do a death save. Um, well, we'll say unconscious, because they are trying to get the map and everything, and they want to like question us. Um, I'm not sure they know how to knock a plant unconscious, but we're gonna go ahead and do it that way. Um, okay, so now we're gonna go to octopus. There is no way that octopus is going to be able to get Pearl Voss in time. Uh, Octopus just doesn't do enough damage. Well, if Octopus were to roll perfect, like if I actually roll an Octopus, so we're going to give Octopus the opportunity to um, pull a rabbit out of a hat. So we're going to roll to hit, plus 4 to hit, and then we're going to roll damage, and we're going to hope for a big high number. If we get perfect, we can get Pearl out of the way. But no, we only got 1. That was enough to hit, but we only did 3 damage. And now this bandit is going to try and knock out Octopus. So let's roll to hit plus 3. Ooh, 2. That is a miss. And the other bandit is going to pull in and also try to hit Octopus. This is not going to go well. That is a 9 plus 3 to hit. God darn it, I forgot already. That is not enough. Octopus manages to get away from that. It is now Pearl's time to try and get Octopus. Pearl rolls twice. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here we go. So 2 melee hits against... So Pearl leaves off the grapple. Not that it matters. But then attacks Octopus and is going to try to hit twice. That is a natural 20. So it's all over. Octopus is unconscious. So the 3 of us are unconscious. And we're surrounded by bandits who are looking for our treasure map and the journal. And they're going to find it because it's in my rucksack and it's with me. This was not what I had hoped to have happen. I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to fade to black as the octopus goes unconscious. I think I know what happens next. And it's not completely bad, but we're in a tight situation. But I'm going to call this episode... I did not think this was going to be where this episode ended. I thought we would be on a boat on our way at the end of this episode, but that is not what happened. Yeah, so we're all unconscious, and that's the end of this episode. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to start up. I'm going to do another episode of Stranger Things after this. Where the party is going after the kobold lair. They got waylaid by a bunch of kobolds on the way to Winterhaven. So I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to set that up and then start up that episode. But I'm going to go ahead and call this episode. This is definitely a hidden fortress kind of moment where things just got really, really bad for our heroes. So let's see what happens. Oh, man. Wow. They were outclassed. To be honest, I think this is an example of how the sidekicks are not enough. And I need to be a little bit more sneaky and careful if I'm going to be doing these solo adventures. Because I suppose it was kind of close. Like if I had rolled better on initiative, I could have pulled off a second Thunder Wave. And I could have probably gotten rid of Pearl and the other one. But it was the initiative. I rolled like a 2 or yeah, well, I mean, and that's the fun of it, right? That's the fun of it. Like the I used the Hidden Fortress, Akira Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress, which was one of the inspirations for Star Wars, as an example all the time. But basically, I don't know if you know the story. I don't know if I've told it because I tell it too often. But basically, the way it went is that the writers would write a scenario, and then Akira Kurosawa would put by the end of the filming of that scene or whatever, Akira Kurosawa would put the heroes in an impossible situation and then hand it back to the writers and say, okay, get them out of this. And that is how that entire story played out, was going from, hope to impossible situation to hope to impossible situation all the way through it. It's worth checking out because I think it's more obvious in Hidden Fortress than it is in Star Wars that's the structure that's going through, being played out. But also, watch the commentaries and stuff for the information on like how that actually happened. But yeah, failure is part of the fun. Like if you don't fail, there's nothing to fight for. I mean, in a way, So yeah, absolutely. I agree. The failure makes it interesting. And it's, I love that it surprised me. This is not how I thought this would go. So here we are. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna have some lunch and set up for Stranger Things. I'll be back in. It's probably an hour or something like that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it takes me a little bit to get set up and take a break, but I'll be back in just a little bit. So hope to see you. And if not, then I'll see you around again. Thanks for dropping in, MK.